The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, build life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. It's your host.
All right, great day to you, beautiful people, man. Thanks so much for joining us here again on the new Black Wall Street as we present to you guys the Wealth Game. We're going to talk about stocks and real estate, let you guys give you guys updates on what's going on in the market, what's going on in the world, some things that you might want to look out for. Try to answer any questions that we have within the time that we have as well. But it's really the wealth game. It's really these spaces, just two of the spaces of many markets where people build wealth, right? People acquire assets in order to build wealth for themselves, for their community, for their family, and all that stuff as well. So we decided that we were going to have try to do a weekly episodic thing to kind of keep our people, our community, our village up to speed about what's going on, what's really going on. I'm your host, ERGJ, certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club, which is a study of Black wealth, study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And you can pick up a copy by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today, man. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time doing a whole bunch of promo and all that good stuff. You guys, you'll find those links in the description above or below, because I want to get right into this thing, bring in our special guest who is, she was waving. I don't know if she's waving at me, if she's good to go. You good to go? Thumbs up if you're good to go. Okay. All right. Just making sure. While you guys are connected, man, let us know where you're connected from. What city, what state, what country as well. Love to know where you're connected from, just how far our reach is here this morning or this afternoon, or depending on what time, where time zone you're in, it don't matter. And then also hit the like button and share button if you care. Like button and share button if you care. If you are your brother's sister's keeper, you are your sister's keeper, you're saying, hey, man, I want to make sure that you guys know that this information is being provided. You can choose to show up if you choose to show up or not. And the reality is most of us just choose not to. We can do all the blame game that we want, but at the end of the day, we choose what we want. But we want to make sure that people are aware that we're here. Okay, we just want to make sure they're aware that we're here. Brooklyn, New York is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us. Gigi is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us as well. So let me bring in a ready estate real estate woman who is in the house with us, man. She decided to show up with us again on a Friday. Miss Lisa Puerto is here with us here today, the super agent. How you doing today, Queen? There you go.
I'm messing with stuff.
Oh, well, why you always messing? As soon as you go on, you're gonna start messing with stuff. Yeah, hitting stuff.
I'm messing with stuff. Hold on. Let me give me a second. Bring me in and bring me back.
I know, man. Gotta put her in, coach. Let her fix her stuff. Okay, let her fix her stuff. Anyway, so what we like, she just let me know when you're ready, because I don't know what you're over there doing. So anyway, the wealth game, guys. Everybody putting comments on hashtag wealth. Many of us, there's this indication of something that we want to build, something that we maybe aspire to do, or maybe it's a grand idea, but we may not necessarily be in the ball game. May not be on the playing field. I may have just heard about now, these areas that where wealth is built, and two of those areas, not the only two, but two of those main areas is going to be real estate and stocks. And so a lot of times I think people try to have this debate about which one is better and which one is whatever. Listen, at the end of the day, why not get it all, right? Why not get it all? Why not participate in all the wealth building places that you can? Whether that be your business, that's a wealth building place, right? In the comments below, I'd like for you to share some wealth building place, at least one wealth building place that you are aware of, that you know of, right? You're like, man, I know that this is a place where people build wealth. Right, you know what I mean, or a place where people talk about wealth. So we don't have. It seems like we don't go to the places that people are having these conversations, nor do we, from a majority standpoint, participate in where the game is being played. And this is the wealth game, right? The wealth game, right? So I'd love to know if you are familiar with any places that you may not be in, but you like. At least I'll become aware and learn a little bit about it. Maybe I'll get in. Okay, get in where you fit in, right? And, she always messed up. I'm just ad-libbing out because I don't know what's going on over there with the Superagent. She ain't so super today, okay? Glenda Tate Williams in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining hashtag wealth is in the house. Miss Gigi King, that's right. Hashtag well, Loki. Slick Saucy is in the building, man. Good evening to you. Good afternoon to your brother. Good morning, whatever time frame you're in. Black Billionaires Club, absolutely. That's where we come together and do our thing in the Black Billionaires Club as well. And of course, me, I'm more on the stock side than the real estate side. And the reason is because there's a lot of reasons why. But in being that, I also try to connect myself, align myself, allies, right? How many guys got wealth allies? You got money making friends. Oh Lord, don't get me started. You got wealth allies, you got money making friends. Right? Not money taking friends, money making friends. Right? So I have allies. And so where I study and where I spend my time, I'm able to collaborate and work with people because I bring a certain expertise while they bring a different expertise, and then we're able to work together to build the empire. Right? But if you don't have any money making friends, you don't have any wealth allies, and all you got is broke folk around you, well, then that could be a problem. Because when you start to think about leveling up, start having a different conversation, how many guys know it's a different language? You're not talking the same language, they don't want you around no more. And now you got to find a new room to hang out in. You got to find new places to go. And these people, when you go to these new places, they might not look like you. It might be a little uncomfortable in the beginning, especially if you don't have no self-confidence. You know what I mean? I remember walking into the room when I first decided that this was something I wanted to learn, and I was the youngest and the darkest in the room, and the only darky in the room, right? I was the youngest, and I was the darkest, but I didn't stop there, right? I didn't stop there. That's what Martin Luther King said. Don't stop there. I kept coming back, and here's what I found. I found that a lot of stuff that people talk about just simply isn't true. I had a whole bunch of people that didn't look like me that helped me along the way, that taught me what they knew. And so that's why I have a different perspective than a lot of people who never get into the wealth game. They stay in the complain, blame game. I'm telling you, it's a different world when you start going to achieve something. You're going to get help from all different types of places, all different types of nationalities, because a lot of people just want to win. They want to be around, be connected to success. And that's the truth. No matter how much that we say that people are holding us back, right? You leave my Lisa. Empowerment do, absolutely, man. She says she's ready, man. What's going on with you, Lisa? You back?
Back. All right, here we go. So thank you very much. Thank you for
stuff. Stop touching it.
I'm done. I'm done. I am done. I think Evan, listen, give Evan a round of applause for holding it down while I was getting myself together. Oh, happy Friday. Excuse me. I was eating too. I was doing all kinds of stuff, y'all. So shout out to those of you who are on the East Coast. You're 3 hours ahead of me. You already went through your morning routine. I'm here on the West Coast. I am just getting into my morning routine. It is Friday, which is a half day for me. So I'm really excited. Thanks. Oh, shout out to BBC members and those of you who are actually who tuned in with the Entrepreneur Series. We got some winners. Evan, I shared with you, some of the members actually won some money yesterday.
Yeah, and we got the journals coming. We got the journals coming. that some people want, I'm making donations to, or I'm giving away to some people. That was from a couple of weeks ago. So the journals are on their way. So we're super excited about that. Hopefully we'll be able to get them out by the time we have the extravaganza, which is still on. I know y'all, it seems like it's a little quiet, but don't worry.
Quiet. Oh.
It's a little quiet, but I've been busy. Sometimes some stuff you gotta say, hey, we gotta take care of this stuff. Take it first things first. Everybody put also first things first. First things first. And so I put stuff on the back burner. So Lisa, if you could, man, there's some there's people here that might be joining for the first time. They don't know who this super agent lady is. You could tell people who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do.
Hello, welcome. My name is Lisa Puerto. I'm also known as Superagent. I am an active California licensed real estate broker. I'm a national public educator, an award-winning author. I am co-creator and creator of many creative projects. More importantly, I do what I do because I have a passion for the youth. So I'm founder of our country's first real estate focused nonprofit where we teach, seek, and empower youth ages 11 and up with real estate literacy, terms, concepts, and careers as an alternate pathway to success. Our philanthropy efforts are done through our nonprofit, Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation. Our for-profit business is our platform, and some of you are privy to it, is Ready, Set Real Estate, which is our educational and training company, in which we provide general education, general real estate education to the population, and we provide unique training experiences for industry professionals. So hello and welcome.
Absolutely. Welcome, man, to the welcome, man. Gigi King is on it. She said, man, this country was built on free enterprise and real estate. Absolutely. So slow key, slick saucy. I'm like a mobile thrift store. I make most of my money through Facebook, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Making it happen, making it do what it do. Gigi said, man, I want to learn more about real estate. I know that is where the money is. That's one of the places where the money is. We got to start having, that's one of the places. It's not the only place, but yeah, that's one of the places where money can be made. I also learned slow about real estate because I'm focused on stocks, but I am aware. All right. Ready, set, real estate. Absolutely. Okay. My econ. Absolutely. This country was built. I got that one already. Wealth. Right. First thing first, first thing first, first things first. Absolutely. So, well, I think what we want to do, guys, because we got a couple different places we can go, but we'll start by kind of talking about where we are in the market. Right, where we are. So we're going to call this like market updates. They call it some things you might want to know as it relates to real estate and stocks. I'll start because when she get going, I kind of just, I don't know what happened. My voice disappears. So I'll start with the stock market. And I'll start with the stock market, which would be, kind of give you guys an update where we are. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were at kind of a low for the market with extreme fear, which is causing the depression or recession or the reduction of prices. And but to understand that this reduction in price had nothing to do with the value of those particular companies, right? So the value of those companies remained the same, although their price was less expensive, which I consider to be on sale. Well, we're now starting to see money come back into the market. We're starting to see greed begin to rise. And our emotion in the market, big money that runs the market, is actually funneling back into the economy. Just today, they announced they're going to do another $2.3 trillion from the Federal Reserve back into the economy. Not into healthcare, not into fighting the spread of the virus, but to the economy. So it tells you where our values are as far as the people who actually run this thing called Wall Street, where it really is. It's not in your health. It's in their wealth. And so if you were following for the past 3 weeks, it was like, hey, I promote you getting in front of the big money, which many of you may not have done. I did. And some other people that's been following me, they did. Because that way, when the big money comes in, your money is already there, and it boosts your money up and skyrocket on forward. My goal is to have, I'm gonna walk y'all through my journey to $10,000 in my Cash App investing account, and I'm gonna do it $20 a day, and I'm gonna show y'all how when you just have a plan and you believe and you take action, it absolutely can be done. So I'll come back in a second. I gotta step outside. I know she's gonna give you some market updates on the real estate side, Miss Lisa Puerto.
Thank you, Evan. I'm excited about that journey. Listen. $20 a day on his road to $10,000. And some people are kind of scrambling for $10,000, and you've got to be disciplined. So for those of you who are saying you're wanting to learn about real estate and following the money, so I am a lane hugger, and I love that Evan said that it's important to bring other wealth builders, wealth creators on your team. So I'm a lane hugger, which means my focus is real estate. I get a lot of people to inbox me and talk about, check out what we're doing. You want to make money and, adding these streams of income. So I had shared in terms of what I create, I teach. So I'm actively in the selling and buying of real estate. I'm actively creating courses, books in real estate. I do charitable, because the philanthropy was in my head, charitable efforts through real estate. So I'm a lane hugger, and I study real estate, and I've been in the industry for over 15 years. And if I counted me being as a notary public since the age of 19, that puts me well over 20 plus years as my first entrepreneur venture in real estate. And I wanted to really understand, or let me say overstand, type in the comments below, overstand. I wanted to overstand real estate, not necessarily be feeling overwhelmed by it, because right now I'm seeing people are reactionary. Everyone's reactionary. And if you are feeling reactionary by cycles in real estate, this is the wrong business for you. If you are an industry professional or you're thinking about getting into it, if you're a person who are, you're at what we call a dealer, which is your fix and flip, please know that you are known as a dealer. By IRS tax codes, okay? It's like moving products, right? Moving weight. When you're fixing and flipping property, it's like moving weight or products, because the property is a product and it's short-term inventory. So it's inventory versus, if you're an investor, it's seen as a portfolio, and your strategy is long-term, long gain. I share all of that with you just so that you are familiar with definitions and my perspective, especially if you're someone who's an owner occ, so you're an owner who's occupying your residence. And then I think I'll go in phases today. There's been a lot of information going out. Evan talked about this stimulus that's happening, and unfortunately, I can't control the comments. But let me do this. Allow me to just kind of see the comments online. Okay, cool. I can at least see your comments online here. That way I can keep up. That way I don't want to miss any, because Evan's controlling those comments. So with that being said, right now, this week, first let's talk about this. For those of you who think real estate and stocks are two separate beasts or entities, they're not. Why? Because, for perfect example, when the mortgage industry, when the big banks actually, before this stopped happening or started happening, the onslaught of it, one of the big banks stopped funding loans. That kicked off a red flag to the feds. The feds then did an emergency interest rate cut on that Sunday. It happened on a Sunday. I was privy to the phone call and the information leading up to that Sunday. So I knew what was happening. I knew what was coming. And that's just me kind of being part of certain groups. And again, I'm privy to those conversations as an expert in the industry and around these people that are in it, right? And so I actually felt the shift in the market happening from September 2018, September of 2018. I felt that shift happen, and I shared that with a lot of you. I said, listen, if you think that this market is going to keep riding high, you are delusional. You're absolutely delusional. We need to get back to a healthy space and place in the market where the market is, where there's what we call the affordability index makes much more sense. Right now, the affordability index is not making sense. Why? Because pricing of housing has not been keeping up with income. And some of you can tell this to me firsthand in your respective states where you are. I'm in California, I'm in a high premium state, and I'm a high premium market. And right now, California, specifically Los Angeles, has the second largest homelessness crises in the country. So LA has the second highest homelessness crisis in the country. So there are a couple things with what's going on with that, right? There's this question about inventory. There's this question that's been about inventory, about there's not enough units. There are units, there are properties, they're just tied up in Airbnb rentals. We're going to talk about that shortly. If you were thinking about the Airbnb game, I was going to save this discussion for my show on Ready, Set, Real Estate, but I'll do this here. That way I can bless two birds at the same time. So I will repurpose today's discussion on my platform as well. So I'll please put in the comments below. I want to talk about OPM versus over leveraging. Hey, Stacy, thanks for tuning in. Shout out to those of you who are tuning in for my page and joining in the conversation. So I was going to talk about OPM versus over leveraging. Please type that in the comments below. Other people's money versus over leveraging. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the people that have over leveraged are feeling stuck. They don't know what to do, and they're reactionary. There's a difference with if you are coming into this market as an owner occupant, meaning that you want to invest in the market and you are occupying or you purchasing multi-family, there are great opportunities right now for you that if you've been disciplined, you have income, because that's the biggest thing right now. Do you have income show to pay the debt? So OPM versus over leveraging. Other people's money is what OPM stands for. Other people's money. Vivian asks, who's second, New York or San Francisco? Listen, I would probably say San Francisco, right? Stacey says, hey, Lisa Puerto, good to see you. You are on point. Thank you, sis. So one of the things that, thanks, Aaron. Hey, Aaron, good seeing you. One of the things that San Francisco, as we talked about this on the past platforms and past shows and discussions, we talked about in San Francisco, the poverty level, if you earned 100 and I think it was 108,000 when we last checked, 108,000 in San Francisco. If you earn below that, you are considered poor. So, you know, we put all this in context in terms of what is happening nationally. And I haven't even touched on global real estate. I won't do that today. I really just want to focus what's happening locally and nationally. So let's thank you guys. All right, OPM. And I'm going to throw these points out because I need you to hold me accountable. You know why? Because my brain literally operates like a computer, as some of you say. You know, some of you have been like, Lisa, you just be like, because I have a lot of information that I process and I compartmentalize. So thank you guys. So Vivian Lovey says, Aaron's got OPM versus over leveraging. Jennifer, OPM versus leveraging, over leveraging. So let's talk about OPM real quick. Okay. So other people's money. I am actively selling and buying real estate right now. Okay. This is not necessarily a market, and it's a challenging market for newbies in all aspects of money making, money creation. I suggest if you're a newbie in this, albeit stocks, albeit real estate, I suggest you align yourself up with someone who is versed, experienced, right? Don't guess your way through this right now, because it can be very costly and detrimental to you, to your personal finances in your household, and to your business. So this is not, oh, I'm hearing it's a good time, let me jump in and figure it out. Not necessarily. I suggest you align yourself with some of the veterans in the business. For those newbies, for those of you who are learning how to invest in stocks with Evan. Evan is a certified financial educator in that. Homeboy is an expert. He's showing you how to do it with the Robinhood app, with the Acorns, with now Cash App investing. So again, follow someone who is a veteran and an expert. I fortunately, at least I've been around to see some stuff. I haven't seen everything. The good thing is that I've been around during a downturn. So when I was in 2008 and I experienced a downturn, like I shared before, I was too green to understand when they said Bank of America stopped funding in 2008. 2018, it was Wells Fargo that had stopped funding. 4 days later, we get a Fed emergency rate cut by way of them purchasing mortgage-backed securities. So they jump into the bond market. As a matter of fact, I read the headlines this morning that the Feds are taking over the bond market. There's a couple things that have happened with them doing that, and it's hurting mortgage servicers. It is going to hurt mortgage servicers. And guess who's going to pay the price for that? Homeowners. For those of you who are taking on forbearances and all these deferments, listen, they're going to come back with you with a vengeance with those balloon payments and some, because they now have to dip in their reserves to cover what the Feds are saying with this moratorium. Okay. So I had to say that because 180 days. Okay. We are going to see a different type of clientele, a different type of market. I'd like to be wrong, and I'm okay if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, wonderful. But 180 days, this big Band-Aid that we have been putting on the United States economy since 2008 is coming. It's festering. It stinks. It's coming with a vengeance. Depending if you are an investor, this is your market. And I defined what an investor is. This is your portfolio market where you pick some stuff up and you hold it. Let's now talk about over leveraging. Couple my dealer clients. What are my dealers? My dealers are my short-term gain, right? They're in it. They're picking up inventory. They're flipping. Guess what? Just got a phone call from ATL. One of my realtor colleagues, who's also an investor, calls me up and says, "Hey, hi, it's crazy over there, huh?" No, I don't feel crazy. I'm not crazy because I don't over leverage. How many of you have been disciplined with your expenses? We talked about this during the entrepreneur series. Type in the comments below, expense optimization. How many of you been disciplined? Listen, I'm a t-shirt and jean type of gal. I have been that since 2008. Nothing fancy in my life. You know why? Because I've watched how the United States administrations kept putting a Band-Aid over a market correction that has been long overdue. This is not necessarily about COVID. This is necessarily about witnessing the largest refinance of the United States debt. I'm just going to put that out there. We so happen to think it's COVID, but this is about one of the largest refinances of the United States debt. We have been over leveraged. And what do you think they're doing? What do you think happens when they keep putting money into the economy? It is going to weaken the dollar. This is why those platforms as cryptocurrencies are starting to look a lot appealing to some of the big banks. They're creating their own crypto platforms, right? All right. So Loki Slick says, what do you mean by a different type of market? Great. You are listening, huh? Wonderful. We're going to be more into a REO market, right? We're overdue. And I've been getting some of those phone calls with some of my industry colleagues are asking about BPOs, how to get in that market, dealing with foreclosures. That is a very relationship-based business. Very relationship-based business. So I'm talking about foreclosures. So we know overall foreclosures have always been around. They're just going to be a little bit volumized. Why? Because the debt that's happening right now is being delayed, right? The foreclosures that is supposed to start happening, mind you, read in between the lines, or you guys have been doing the book club with Dick Gregory, with Evan. Dick Gregory's Read Between the Lies. So read between the lies. That it says moratorium for 60 days, no evictions, no foreclosures, 60 days, 90 days to a year. 60, 90 to a year. They're just saying put them on hold. It doesn't mean they're not going to happen. Pay attention to what is not being said. Pay attention, listen to what is not being said. What is not being said is that they're going to be stopped. They're saying they're paused. There's a difference between pause and stop. Pause means we're going to pause, but they're coming. For some of those of you who are actually asking for the forbearance, read in between the lies of your paperwork. A lot of those forbearances say they come with balloon payments. So if you ain't got it now and they want 4 months all at once, what do you think you're setting yourself up for? What do you think you're setting yourself up for? If you ain't got it now, they say you're going to have all of it in 4 months. You're going to have all of it in 6 months, but you ain't got it now. And a stimulus check of $1,200, depending on how many kids you have, you might get $3,000. But if you look at the income bracket of who's earning the stimulus check, it's not really an income bracket of many homeowners, especially if I look at California's numbers. Median price of home, 525. We're going to see the numbers shift, but you have to earn 114,000 to qualify for that. And that's assuming a 20% down, which puts you at what? 20% down, 5. Wow. It's a lot of money. It's 100,000. So not many people are sitting on that type of a disposable income. So anyway, Vivian says setup. Hey, Wakita, she says good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too. Welcome. So as I am sharing, Over leveraging and expense optimization. Thank you guys for typing that in. Expense optimization is looking at the expenses, right? Where can you minimize? Where can you minimize? And I'm advising you, if you are someone who is a homeowner and you're owner occupant, today I'm not going to cover those of you who own properties as a business, but I am going to touch on Airbnb because I think this is very important, because that is called over leveraging. For those of you who've been sold the game about, oh, you can jump into this, you can jump into real estate, make money with real estate, and not own any properties. So guess what's just happened? For those of you who are in the Airbnb business and you have sublet. What does that mean? You leased out a property that you don't own in your name. You leased out a property. And not only did you lease one property in your name or your business name or however you did it, you did 2 properties. You did 3 properties. You did 4 properties. You did 5 properties. 5 is not enough. Let's keep going. You did 6 properties. You did 7 properties. You did 8. 8 is not enough. I'm going to keep going. You did 9 properties. You did 10 properties. You think I'm playing? I know people and I'm reading what's happening. 22 properties on a sublease. 22 properties because you went out and you jumped in the Airbnb game and you're leasing out properties that you don't own. And guess what? You're faced with Airbnb cancellations left and right. And guess who still has to front the bill for the lease? You. That's called over leverage. Did you really need 22 properties? You're living a wonderful life wherever you are, off an island somewhere. You're probably stuck, can't come back. Or maybe you don't want to come back. That's fine. But you now have just not only compromised your name, and we're going to talk about that shortly, but you've compromised the owners because you're running an Airbnb business. You're running Airbnb business that you over leverage without reserves. See, most mom and pop landlords right now have very small reserves for the multifamily units that they own right now. Not like the Wall Street, not like the big commercial owners, where some of those have strategic, they have accounting, they have bookkeepers, they have strategy teams, property managers to help with reserves. For the most part, your mom and pop landlords don't have that big of reserves, which is why tying up somebody's property like that, I am very upset with you, because you've not only hurt a lot of people, but you've over leveraged. I'm going to take a break. Evan, you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Hey, your brother here? Yeah, we're going
I just need to pause right there because I think that's a good place to pause as we talk about over leveraging.
Yeah, and very interesting thing when you talk about over leveraging or other people's money. It can happen in a stock game too, and especially when we start talking about our short-term dealer traders, or where they start getting into margins, which is basically borrowing money from their broker in order to trade. That could be very very dangerous, and you get to a point where you could get to a point where you can't pay back what you owe, and it's the same. It's the same. I mean, from a personal standpoint, from a business standpoint, and it's a strategy that can be used. We use it with other people's money, but a very careful strategy. And I believe what happens is we just how quickly we forget, especially when it's during the good years. When it's the good years, you just think it's going to always be good. You just keep on going, and that the game is in, the Airbnb game is in, the options are in, and the shortness is in. Everything's in. Everything is good.
Everything's in.
Until it's hit the fan. Once it hits the fan, now because you don't really have full understanding concepts, you can't. It's hard to switch strategies when you only know one. You only know one. This is the only strategy you know. It's been working for you, but you don't know hedging. You don't know, how to protect yourself in case your strategy don't no longer work. I just, it's sad, but I'm unsympathetic because you put yourself in these situations because you stop learning.
That's why I said I'm upset at that. I'm unsympathetic, and I shared that. I said, you know what? I am not sympathetic for those people who jumped in, and it was the thing to do. But like I said, if you are in real estate or you're in stock and you don't realize that the economy goes through it's cyclical, up, down, booms, busts, and you had been writing this and you are watching that we are in the largest expansion in the history of the United States, and you feel like it's going to keep going up, you are delusional and you're in the wrong business.
Yeah. I my philosophy, or the philosophy of those who invest over long periods of time, typically stands the test of time. And that's just simple, that the tortoise beats the hare all the time. You was winning. I mean, you was ahead. I mean, you was running, you was way up there, and you ran out of gas. And I'm just briskly walking through. But it's interesting though. I love the parallels between the stock market and real estate. And again, what I find is that we're as a people, because I typically, I talk to a lot of brothers and sisters, and it's like we're because it's something that we can see, and it's something that we've had success with, I think, in our history, that it's like, okay, real estate. But I continue to tell people, you guys are sleeping on stocks. You guys are sleeping on the businesses and that provide products and services that help bring value to where that real estate is. And as I'm saying, hey, get the property and get all the businesses that support the property that you're around. This is why you can have something like Amazon, for example, right? I like to say Quick Trip, because Quick Trip is probably the best thing that I can think about. Quick Trip, and let's say Amazon, Amazon goes in and they go buy some real estate, right, to put their facility at, where they're going to do big business, right? But when they get that facility, all of a sudden, all these other businesses start popping up around that facility to support, right, to provide food, gasoline for all the people that's going to be occupying that real estate. So now all of those other businesses that provide products and services that the people that are occupying the real estate are in, now they're going to increase in their profits, because they got people coming in and out, because don't nobody want to leave too far from work to go eat. Don't nobody want to leave too far from work to get the dry cleaning. They don't want to leave too far from work to get the gas and all that stuff. So it's a very relative similar thing. A lot of the strategies that you can use in real estate, you can use in stocks. But it's just one of those things that we're comfortable with, and we're uncomfortable with the things that we're uncomfortable with. And I started getting comfortable with things I was uncomfortable with, and that's how I got into stocks. And that's how I've been teaching people, for the past decade, how to get rich in stocks, and then I turn them over to people like you to figure out how they can acquire some real estate, and you just keep building your portfolio. Everybody put accounts on a portfolio. That's why it's a portfolio. It's not just one. You don't want to have a portfolio of just one asset, because what if that asset's market is impacted like it is now? Well,
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I give you this gem for those of you who are actually considering purchasing, or you've been iffy about purchasing. So let's talk about portfolio. If you are purchasing one property right now using FHA and VA loans, so notice that nothing has changed. I'm sharing this with you. The facts are nothing hasn't changed with the FHA guidelines and the VA, the Veterans Administration guarantee of those loans. So when you hear FHA and VA, those are not loans. Those are insurers of those loans. Those are riskier products. So as we talk about portfolio, guess what? Lenders right now, if you are purchasing an FHA, if you're utilizing an FHA insured loan or VA loan, investors, by the way, who are the stock market, the investors who are providing the funds to the lenders to fund the loans are not purchasing, they're not buying the investors are not buying the FHA and VA loans because they're too risky. So right now, if you are in an area like LA County, the FHA insured loans, they now have lenders have put what they call our overlays. Please type that in the comments below. Oh, lender overlays. These are the lenders putting their own guidelines on top of those guaranteed products because they now carrying more risk. Two things are happening right now. One, lenders are making it very difficult to get those loans because they don't want to plain out tell you they're not doing them. So they have increased their FICO requirements. Some of them have gone up to 680 from 580. Some lenders have kept it at 620, 640. That's one thing. The FICO guidelines have changed. The down payment has changed. So FHA insured loans typically were 3.5% down. You could come and purchase a property. Some of the lenders have put an overlay that depending on the FICO, they now want to see 10% down. Why? Because Evan, it's one property. It's risky. You can still do FHA insured loans, VA loans, and buy income property. You can still buy 1 to 4 units. So my clients who are purchasing multifamily are not in this risk, this pool risk, as someone who's only buying a single family property. So if you're purchasing single family, you have to look absolutely great on paper. What does that mean? Income documented, 3 years, 2 to 3 years tax returns. You still have work. FICO scores over 700, and you have reserves. Reserves is money in the bank account. They want to see at least 3 months to 6 months of your mortgage. 3 months to 6 months, and that's even in a pension account. And some of you's pension account 401ks just got wiped out. So there goes your down payment and closing costs. So what I'm doing with my clients is I'm using other people's money, and I have access to a true grant down payment program that is giving you the grant for the full 3.5% down. So awesome right now. And I'm being strategic with those clients and saying, instead of you using all your reserves for down payment, because you're an optimum client, right? It is an optimum time. While rates right now, as of yesterday, today is about 3.33%. Last week it was 4. So rates are a little crazy right now because the mortgage industry is taking on more risk right now. The feds have saddled them with a requirement. And not only that, when interest rates drop, the mortgage industry, the lenders who use interest rates as hedge against what's going on the market, they now have to pay what they call early payoffs for all these people that are refinancing. They don't have enough reserves to do early payoffs on 11 million mortgages, which is why the mortgage industry is forcing rates to go up and not necessarily able to lock in rates right now. I said a mouthful right now. Some of you might get it, some of you might not. I just said it for the record.
And this is it. I mean, this is just so very interesting. And all that stuff that you listed, like, you know, all the stuff you need and all the stuff, all these requirements. I'm so glad you ain't got to do all that with stocks. Credit score don't matter, you know what I'm saying? History, job here, don't care. As long as you got some money to put in there, you good to go. And you got a clear Social Security number. I don't need none of that stuff to own some of these wonderful, great companies that provide products and services to the community in which I serve. So, and, you know, there's some different guidelines there as far as, you know, what's necessary. Obviously, you need whatever you would normally need to be, you know, to be connected to a broker. I'm pretty sure the same way if you're going to be using a real estate broker, they want to make sure that you are a legitimate citizen of this great country, right? But yeah, I don't need all that. I need a phone, an app, and I'm just doing this. Boo, boo, boo. So yeah, so here's the deal, guys. I see we got some people that's tagging some people, man. Appreciate that, guys. I want to know who's here, man. Go and let us know if you're here. You know, if you are here, because see, here's the thing, guys. What I try to help us understand is that as we're getting free financial education right now, everybody put in comments, so that's here, free financial education. We want to be people that don't just show up to get. We got to start learning how to give and receive, right? Give and receive. And so a part of that giving process is just to simply put something in the comments below so we can acknowledge that you are here. some people just gonna show up to watch and try to grab stuff and say, man, I'm so glad that they did that, but I don't want nobody to know that I was actually here. And what is that? How are we gonna become friends? How are we gonna start doing business with each other if I don't even know that you're here? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So if you are here, you're right, and you're getting some value out of what you're learning or hearing or what we're sharing here today, go ahead and put in the console free financial education. That's right, free financial education. Now, the part of that is that also means that we can no longer say that nobody is doing this. We can't say that anymore. We can't say, oh, I wish. I mean, we can't say I wish the public school education would teach this stuff, but we don't have to because we got other people who are in our community who actually is teaching this stuff. So that just means, hey, all I got to do is show up to class. All I got to do is come. All I got to do is be here. And then I no longer have to complain about what somebody is not doing for me, which we are now showing we can do it for ourselves, right? We are now showing we can do it for ourselves. So here's the thing, Lisa. We're going to have to start wrapping this thing up because, you know, your boy got to get up, get out, and go get something. It's Friday. People still got paid, and I got to go collect their checks. Okay, so...
He said, I got to go collect their checks.
Man. So what is it that you like to share with people? I mean, I see you got your number up there as well, and I'm going to pull up your link tree, and we're going to see here who's participating with us. Let's see here. We got Flawless Fitness up in the house, man. My man over at YouTube, free financial education. That's right, man. Glenda Tate Williams. That's right, free financial education. That's right. Wakita Nutrient out, free financial education. That's little man, Miss Vivian Reed. That's right, free financial education. Miss Jennifer Alvin, free financial education. That's what I'm talking about, man. Miss Stacy Harris Green with the hyphen. Free financial education. Absolutely, man. See, it's so much easier to increase my buying power in my stock portfolio. Now, here is a little tip, and I shared earlier. Here's a little strategy. Right now, you can be building your wealth through stock market because you can buy low and sell high. And then, as you see the turn of the real estate market, because that's probably what's going to be happening. She's been sharing with you. Now you got some capital that you could go in and buy some real estate when the cycle turns. Right?
That's right.
See, so it's all timing. It's all a plan of attack, and then you got execution. Okay.
Because we can use those brokerage accounts. I have clients that they will send us their brokerage accounts, and guess what? When it's time to access those funds, they sell their positions.
They sell their positions, right? 1 second. These people know I'm on broadcast.
They sell their positions. So again, get connected with your industry professionals. Right now, I think you were going to lead on to what I wanted to share.
Yeah.
But I could wait. Or you. So I was going to share. I was going to share. I am sharing. Tuning in, right? Thank you for tuning in. I am sharing that, especially right now, depending on what your position is with real estate, you've got to get with your expert. Do not guess what you should be doing regarding your mortgage, regarding your rent, regarding if you're investing, purchasing. Have the experts, have your industry professionals run the analysis. Right now, I shared with Evan, I was really grateful. A client who closed on a purchase last year, we're discussing about running a new analysis on their position, buy and hold and picking up some multifamily units. So this is when I said this is a new market, a new clientele, this is just a different temperament. So we no longer have speculative buyers. We no longer have speculative sellers. People are testing waters. No, we have people, and it's always been my type of clientele, people who need to sell or buy real estate due to life events, death, job loss, job relocation, new marriage, new baby, divorce. I deal with life events that trigger real estate needs.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do, guys. Because your boy I'm sorry, I got money waiting on me. I gotta go cha-ching. I got cha-ching. Hey man, so here's the deal, guys. The wealth game, man. We're gonna we fitting it into our schedule to talk to you guys about stocks and real estate. Of course, you guys might have questions along the way. You're like, man, I know you get some information. Sometimes you're just getting it all in. You're letting it soak all in. But here's where you can find Lisa's got a link tree. Here, Lisa, link tree / LA Superagent. What can they find on all these links?
So we just finished the 4-part entrepreneur series. So for those of you who are independent contractors, industry professional, real estate professionals, I have something for you. Check that out. If you just want to stay connected with me, I think the best way is that link tree. It's subscribed to my newsletter, not my newsletter, my email list. It's my personal email list. I don't spam and I don't sell your information. That's so I can keep you up to date on new content, trainings, information, new merch. And most importantly, it gives you access to exclusives. So here we're doing this on a public platform, and I've shared some stuff, but I go deeper in some of the my podcasts or my courses. I definitely give you the exclusives. And we talked about this in our entrepreneur series, is honoring our loyal supporters, honoring the outcome. And there's so much more. So I use a link tree because anywhere from books. As a matter of fact, for those of you who subscribe, I've got a book for you. Ready, Set, Real Estate, How to Win When the Market Shifts. I will give you that as a freebie. Go in there and subscribe on my emailing list. If you are not on there, I will gift you a copy of one of my books, Ready, Set, Real Estate, How to Win When the Market Shifts. I actually came out with this book last year because I knew this was coming.
So again, guys, follow the Superagent there. For me, guys, you want to get in where you fit in with ERGJ, man. That's the Black Billionaires Club. But what do we do there, guys? Not only a book that I wrote, it's actually a club that I run, and it's all about studying. Everybody put in console study. The wealthy people that just happen to be Black, right? And do what they do. There's 3 things that they say that they do to be successful. Okay, 3 things. Just 3. And they do more, but 3 predominantly, as we see, as we compare all their success. 3 things. Number 1 thing that they do is they read. Okay, number 1 thing they do is read. So guess what we have in the Black Billionaires Club? We have a book club. Second thing that they say they do to be successful is they build business. All of them have a business or multiple businesses that they run. So guess what we do in our club? We have a business development training, right, to help you get your idea off the ground, to help you to scale up. That's just what we do. And the third thing that billionaires say they do, not poor dad, but rich dad. What they say they do is they invest. They invest in themselves, number 1, in education. They invest in stocks, real estate, other people's businesses, and they continue to build out their portfolio, okay? So if you're missing any one of those 3 things, you're not reading, right? That means that you're just you're privy to everybody else's opinion but your own. If you're not building a business where you're really not talking about leaving an inheritance to your children, no matter how much you preach and you throw your hands up in the church service. And if you're not investing, which, here's the deal. Warren Buffett, the 4th richest man in the world, says this: if you don't never learn how to make money while you sleep, you'll be working for it for the rest of your life. And let me say that again for the people back. If you never learn how to make money while you sleep, in other words, when you woke up this morning, you have more money in your account than when you went to bed at night. If you ain't learned how to do that, then you'll be working for money for the rest of your life. And I don't think any of us want to be in that position. We would like to retire early or retire, period. Well, if you want to learn how to do that through stocks, through real estate, and other avenues, it's time for you to walk away from the crowd of broke, busted, and disgusted. Walk away from the people that ain't trying to learn it and get with the people that are. You can do that at the Black Billionaires Club. $20 a month, $20 decision to change your financial destiny, your financial direction, your financial destination, right? They say if you're the smartest person in the room, time to find a new room. We believe the Black Billionaires Club is the room for you. We invite you. We welcome you to join us today. And last words for the people before we close this thing out. Clairvoyant, entrepreneur. You see all this future.
Exactly. This is actually one of my brands, or the Ready, Set, Real Estate. Thank you guys for tuning in and your support. I mean, shout out to friends and family that I see you tagging and coming in. You definitely know you have access to me. So through the loyal supporter, $10 a month, that ends on Sunday and it goes up to 20 because we've given so much content and training. You can join as a Ready, Set, Real Estate Club member. And do know this, let me say this. Whenever you invest in me or anything that I do, we take a portion of the proceeds and we donate it to Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation. Right now, I am being proactive for you today. But what I'm doing is planting the seeds for our legacy, for our next generation, so that when this time comes for them, they have a basis and a foundation of knowing where to go, what to do, how to do it. So right now, you guys are living, you're the living, breathing testimony. And depending on what side of the road or coin you are, you might be the experiment or you might be the testimony. So I ask you, do you want to be the testimony, the testament to times like this, or do you want to be the experiment? With that, I say, I love you, love you, love you. Have a powerful and productive week and stay connected. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at LA Superagent. Take care, y'all.
Absolutely, man. I want you to remember this, man, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We'll see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.